Hello, I'm Lockstin, and the room is like this currently because it's shiny variety, and not at all because I happened to record a Halloween thing at the same time. Why do we shiny hunt? And by we, I of course mean the community. Not actually me. I've never shiny hunted in my life. I refuse to until I happen upon a shiny naturally. It's been 22 years. And I mean, with odds like, what, 1 in 4,000 Pokemon are shiny? Surely I've passed that by now, so it could be any day now. But I'm not gonna actively hunt them until that happens. But I just don't quite see the appeal of spending hours and hours and hours. Which is exactly why I'm making this video. I'd like to learn why others enjoy it, because I mean, like, well, let's just look at an example. YouTube gives me this shiny hunt by Basu Finn. Shiny hunting a Dredagon. Live stream. 6.5 hours. Well, that doesn't seem terrible, but oh, that's only part 1. Part 2 is 2.5 hours. Then we've got 3 hours with part 3. Part 4 is another 6.5 hours. 5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 5.5 hours, 2 hours. There can't be many more, right? Nearly 4 hours. 3 hours, nearly 4 hours, again, nearly 5 hours, but finally, there it is. 7,556 encounters. 64-ish hours. For a Dredagon that looks like an oak leaf with a diseased part. I mean, RK, yes! That's just one Mon! There are people who complete the Pokedex with shiny Pokemon! So I asked my Twitter followers what's up. Why do you shiny hunt? And y'all had a lot to say. I don't think I've gotten that many replies on a thing before. But before I get into that, have I got a treat for you. Would you like to know one of the most terrifying tales I know? Once there was a man. And then he had his identity stolen because he didn't use NordVPN, today's sponsor. So here are all of the things you need to know about so that you don't become the next spooky story on a podcast. Every single time you hop onto public Wi-Fi, you're sending all of your information out into the world, which can get grabbed by a cyber goblin. By which I mean anyone with ill intent, because it's really not that hard to do. I took a computer security course, I know how to do it. And I know that encryption is a great way to prevent it, and NordVPN encrypts your data twice before sending it off. And what's scarier than identity theft? Well, not even having the option to watch content only licensed for other countries. And NordVPN allows you to make the internet think you're just about anywhere! And you don't even need to be worried about a bad deal, because thanks to this complimentary coupon code, you can get 68% off and an additional month free! Plus there's a money-back guarantee! And of course, there's a link in the description. Bleh. Now then, where were we? Ah, yeah, Twitter! Yes, I asked, why do you shiny hunt? And here are some of the replies. I think because literally every encounter could be shiny. Sure, I could go 10,000 encounters with no shiny, but I could also find one in 10 encounters. That's a gambling addiction. It's easy, and you'll eventually get that reward. Slots specifically. I think it's fun. It's a good pastime for when my brain is like, do something repetitive, please. Because it's calming for me to do a repetitive task towards a goal. Shiny hunting mentally relaxes me and keeps me calm. Admittedly, it's one of the few things that can keep my mind calm and straight and not swirling with millions of thoughts. Now that I get. There are for sure moods where I just want to zone out. My, and I'm sure plenty of others' lines of work take quite the mental toll. So when it comes time to relax, many want something that doesn't take a lot of brain work, but still some brain work, so that your thoughts don't start swirling and you start worrying about work when you should be relaxing. And so you need something easy, repetitive, habitual, and time-consuming. And shiny hunting is all of those things for sure. I hadn't thought of that actually, so thanks. For validation from my 8-year-old niece. Hey, young niece! Check out my fanpy! It's shiny! Neat. Oh yeah, validated! My aunt is really weird. I did a lot of shiny hunting in high school for the thrill of the shiny sparkle and flexing on my friends. Now I breed fish and plants IRL, and it's far less monotonous, and way more peaceful. Well, that's cool. And I guess now that you mention it, shiny hunting sort of is like a gateway hobby into other long-term, slow sort of hobbies, like breeding plants and whatnot. Shiny hunting is a very easy to get into kind of hobby when you're young and don't have much else. Because, well, you don't have much else, but you already have Pokemon. So there you go. Hobby. Intimidation for competitive teams. If I'm willing to run a full team of shinies, you know I have committed to battling with the team, and that I have spent quite a lot of time practicing with it. Oh, it's intimidating, alright. But personally, I don't think I'd see it as, oh man, this guy has spent a lot of time getting all these, I'm so intimidated, and more so, oh great, I'm fighting another hacker. Hackers just ruin everything, man. Something to do with my hands while watching a stream or a YouTube video. You mean to tell me you don't give me your full, undivided attention when watching my stuff? Well, that's perfectly fine. You do you. And I guess this is another aspect I didn't quite get just because I am me. I have the opposite problem of a short attention span or a need to do things with my hands most of the time. I hyper-focus on stuff. If I'm doing something, I'm doing something. And just can't pay any mind to other things. Can't focus on multiple things at once. But recently, when I started talking about this, my wife decided to try shiny hunting a Galarian Ponyta, and she used that week to listen to a few audiobooks while doing so. So hey, it's a good way of doing multiple things at once, just like that. I don't think I could do that, but hey, more power to you. The sheer excitement of finding something incredibly rare and adding it to your collection of other shiny Pokemon. No matter the odds, it's always an adrenaline rush when I see one come across my screen. I can see the satisfaction of collecting for sure. I'm a bit of a game collector myself, and the satisfaction of finding a rare game on a good deal is very satisfying, even if it only happens once in a blue moon's worth of thrifting. I guess I just hadn't made that connection to shiny Pokemon, but, like, duh. Plus, like, that's a lot cheaper, since it's free and all. A lot cheaper than game collecting. I loved watching MJTV and Jubilee Blaze shiny hunting in Yusum, and I started SOS hunting, and then I fell in love with getting shinies. Now that you mention it, a lot of streamers do mainly shiny hunting as their post-game stuff, and since it's such an easy, repetitive task, that makes responding and hanging out with the chat much easier. So it's a good way for a streamer to be more involved with and attached to their audience. Good stuff. I have been hunting for 10 months. At this point, it's a sunken cost fallacy. Please rescue me. Well, when you play Pokemon for the world and the creatures more than the battling, shiny hunting is easier to get behind than prepping for comp. True that. Because Shiny Toucanon has a beak in the colors of the Bi Pride flag! Yeah, I just love working so hard for something. The rush of getting a shiny never gets old. The excitement of feeling like a kid when the shiny Pokemon appears. The thrill of lucking out. The excitement I get is such a rewarding feeling. I guess. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. The dopamine dispensing, the serotonin suckling, and the endorphin imbibing. I guess ultimately that's what everything comes down to. I mean, look at this.
Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god, shiny Tentacle! Yes! Yes! Oh, I almost saw reset it! Oh my goodness!
Darn it, Ditto. Get out of here. Wait, is this shiny?
Two shinies in one stream, the first time! Two shinies in one stream! I think this is the first time that we've done that. Let's go! Ah! Yes!
Those are some happy campers. It comes down to seeing all of your invested time pay off with a beautiful, sparkly Pokemon. Or a pink and yellow Jangmo-O. Well, I guess it's better than doing drugs. Plus, a lot of the Shinymon do have cooler colors than their normal designs. Loads of you have said that, and I've actually got a series of videos right here where I explain and go over all of those shiny colors and explain why they are the colors that they are. Except for Glisser. Because I forgot it existed. So now I will ask you, why do you shiny hunt? Do you just prefer a shiny coloration or two? Is it the rush? Is it for feeling accomplished and adding something special to your collection? Let me know down below. And until next time, you never stop using your noggin.